So let's talk about becoming a solo founder in the age of AI. But this is about way more than just starting a business. What we're really digging into today is a massive, fundamental shift in how we all work, how we build things, and honestly, how we should even think about our careers from this point forward.
And that right there, that's the whole point. The very same forces that are going to let one person build an entire company, well, those are the same forces that are completely reshaping the job market for everybody else. This isn't some theory, you guys. This affects all of us, right now.
All right, so before we jump into the how-to, the playbook, we first have to understand the landscape. Because, and I'm not being dramatic here, the economic ground is literally shifting under our feet. And the stakes, they couldn't be higher.
85 million. Let that number sink in for a second. The World Economic Forum estimates that's how many jobs will be displaced by AI by 2026. And the key takeaway here is the timeline. This isn't some sci-fi future we're talking about. This is happening like right now.
And look, this isn't just a forecast. Companies are already doing it. By the end of 2026, more than a third of all businesses expect to have replaced jobs with AI. So yeah, this transformation, it's already well underway.
So, who's really on the front lines of this? Well, it's not the factory automation our parents talked about. Nope. This is happening in offices, in law firms, in marketing agencies. We're talking about white-collar workers, especially those earning up to $80,000 a year.
And if you want to know just how fast this is all moving, you've got to look at what people are calling the Cower moment. A single AI product launch, just one, triggered a trillion-dollar reevaluation of entire industries. Literally overnight, the market woke up and realized that the work these huge companies sell, well, now it can be done by an AI agent for a tiny fraction of the cost. Wild. Which really brings us to the core question of this entire explainer, doesn't it? The very same tools causing all this disruption can either push you out of a job, or they can be the most powerful tools you've ever had. The choice is becoming incredibly clear. And this is where the story completely flips. This is where we pivot from threat to action. Because these exact same forces that are shaking up the job market, they're also creating what might be the single greatest opportunity for individual founders in history.
Let's just break down the numbers because they're kind of mind-blowing. Look at this. You could spend over 150 grand a year on a couple of key hires, or you could spend about $4,000 on an AI tech stack that does a huge chunk of that same work.
Yeah, let that sink in. We're talking about a 98% reduction in operating costs. This isn't just giving you a little advantage. This puts you in a completely different universe. It's a whole new game.
And it's not just about money, right? It's about your most precious resource, time. AI automation can save a solo founder up to 10.5 hours every single week. That adds up to 52 extra days a year. I mean, what could you build with nearly 2 extra months on your hands? This right here perfectly illustrates the new competitive edge. In sales, speed is everything. An AI-powered founder can respond to a new lead in seconds, which makes them 21 times more likely to actually convert that lead. Meanwhile, the traditional founder who's just checking their email a few hours later, well, they've already lost. The race was over before they even knew it started.
Okay, so how do you actually harness all this power? Well, the biggest change you have to make isn't technical. It's mental. It's all about adopting what we call the solo architect mindset.
See, most people treat AI like a glorified search engine. The architect thinks totally differently. An operator does the work. An architect directs the work. An operator writes the blog post. An architect tells an AI to draft 3 different angles, and then they just edit the best one. It's not about being the smartest person in the room anymore. It's about being the best director.
So this is the key. Your value completely shifts. It's no longer about you physically doing the task. Your job becomes guiding the AI. Using your unique taste, your judgment, and your strategic direction, you handle the what and the why, and you let the AI handle the how.
Okay, so we get the big shift, we get the mindset, now let's get practical. Here is a super clear, actionable playbook you can use to put all of this into motion.
You can really break this whole journey down into 4 distinct phases. This is what takes you from just a raw idea all the way to a fully functioning, scalable solo business.
And in each phase, AI plays a totally critical role. First, you validate. You use AI as your consultant to poke holes in your idea. Then, you build your product using what's called vibe coding. Basically, you're just directing AI developers with plain English. In the grow phase, AI becomes your marketing department. And finally, to scale, it becomes your virtual executive team.
And as you go through all these phases, here is a simple but powerful rule to live by. Before you even think about hiring a person for a task, you have to ask yourself, have I tried to automate this first? This one question forces you to build robust systems, not just a bigger payroll.
And that brings us to our final and honestly most crucial point. This isn't just a trend. It's not just a new set of tools. This is a fundamental fork in the road, and every single one of us has to choose a path. This massive gap, this is what we call the AI canyon. It's this chasm that's widening every single day between those who build systems and automate and those who just keep doing everything by hand. And that middle ground, it's pretty much disappearing.
But here's the incredible part. While one side of that canyon might look a little scary, the other side, well, that represents the greatest opportunity in modern history. All those old barriers to starting a business, needing a ton of money, a technical co-founder, a whole team, they've been completely demolished by AI.
So this is really the choice that we're all facing. Whether you're starting a business or just trying to navigate your career, the tools are here, the opportunity is absolutely massive, and the AI canyon, it's very, very real. So the only question left to ask is, which side are you on?